My name is Kyle Clark, and I'm doing a stream not just to play Minecraft, just to read a book by Scott Cawthon and a person by the name of Kira Breed Risley. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this book. If you don't know what Five Nights at Freddy's is, it's a horror genre game that is famous for its jump scares and for its animatronics, and has a big fan base around it. For those people who didn't play Five Nights at Freddy's before or haven't heard of it, if you want to check it out for yourself, you can. Five Nights at Freddy's, there's multiple games in the series, so I highly recommend if you like the horror genre. Anyways, so the Silver Eyes, FNAF Silver Eyes, is a book that was published in 2016, 2 years after FNAF was born, by one Scott Cawthon. And this year is going to be 7-year anniversary in August. So if you want to buy Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes, you can look at your local bookstores and see if they have them in stock. I've read through this a couple years ago, but we'll actually do this now. So, let me get into my world. Okay. Five Nights at Freddy's, The Silver Eyes, by Scott Cawthon and Kira Breed Risley. Chapter 1. He sees me. Charlie dropped to her hands and knees. She was wedged behind a row of arcade games, crumpled in the crawl space between the consoles and the wall, tangled electrical cords and useless plugs strewn beneath her. She was cornered. The only way out was past the thing, and she wasn't fast enough to make it. She could see him stalking back and forth, catching flickers of movement that through the gaps between the games. There was scarcely enough room to move, but tried to crawl backward. Her foot caught on a cord. She stopped, contorting herself to carefully dislodge it. She heard the clash of metal on metal, and the furthest console rocked back against the wall. He hit it again, shattering the display, then attacked the next, crashing against them almost rhythmically, tearing through the machinery, coming closer. I have to get out. I have to. The panicked thought was no help. There was no way out. Her arm ached and she wanted to sob aloud. Blood soaked through the tattered bandage, and it seemed as though... Sorry, I'm just add a chicken sandwich. As though she could feel it draining out of her. The console, and a few feet away, crashed against the wall, and Charlie flinched. He was getting closer. She could hear the grinding of gears and the clicking of servos, ever louder. Eyes closed, she could still see the way he looked at her, see the mated fur, and the exposed metal beneath the synthetic flesh. Suddenly the console in front of her was wrenched away. It toppled over, thrown down like a toy. The power cords beneath her hands and knees were yanked away, and Charlie slipped, almost falling. She caught herself and looked up, just in time to see the downward swing of a hook. Okay, that was the first paragraph. That was the first part. Um, well, I think what I'm assuming that is happening, that Foxy's chasing Charlie, or at least says the downward swing of a hook, or at least bumped into Foxy. I don't know, but I know it's something to do with Foxy. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I don't know why I spawned down here. I think it must have been something. Okay. Welcome, welcome people. I will actually, if you guys are, what are you guys here for? The Minecraft or the Silver Eyes reading? The chapter 1 part. The first chapter of the Silver Eyes that I'm reading. That's... Hey, Gregory. Okay, you were here for Minecraft. I'm gonna do that while I read the book. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Maybe if I... There's an upward... Okay. Nothing really here. Let me read a little bit more of the book. Welcome to Hurricane, Utah. Charlie smiled wryly at the sign and kept driving. The world didn't look any different from one side of the sign to the other, but she felt a nervous anticipation as she passed it. She didn't recognize anything. Then again, she hadn't really expected to. Not this far at the edge of edge of town, where it was all highway and empty space. Okay, let's see. Where is... Hey, I can actually get myself a crafting table. Let's see here. Boop. Maybe I can actually do the webcam thing. I can pull up another... I can do another stream. One with the face cam. So, hold on. Hello, people, and welcome to this dazzling stream of mine. And we're reading The Silver Eyes. I've scrolled through the pages, and there's I'm assuming there's 30 pages per chapter, but I think I might get through it. Okay, so I have 2 streams up, so where did I leave off? Yes, Gregory, you could. She wondered what the others would look like. Who they were now. 10 years ago, they'd been best friends, and then it happened. And everything ended, at least for Charlie. She hadn't seen any of them since she was 7 years old. They had written all the time as kids, especially Marla. Ouch. who rode like she talked fast and incoherent. But as they got older, they had grown apart. The letters had grown fewer and further between, and the conversations leading up to this trip had been perfunctory and full of awkward pauses. Charlie repeated their names as thought to reassure herself that he still remembered them. Marla, Jessica, Lamar, Carlton, John, and Michael. Michael was the reason for this trip. After all, it was 10 years ago he died. 10 years since it happened. And now his parents wanted them all together for the dedication ceremony. They wanted all his old friends there when they announced the scholarship they were creating in his name. Charlie knew it was a good thing to do, but the gathering still felt slightly macabre. She shivered and turned down the air conditioning, even though she knew it was not the cold. As she drove into the town center, Charlie began to recognize the things. A few stores in the movie theater. She felt a brief moment of surprise, then smiled at herself. What did you expect? That the whole place would be unchanged? A monument to the moment of your departure, frozen forever in July 1985? Well, that was exactly what she expected. She had expected. She looked at her watch. Still a few hours to kill before they all met up. She thought about going to the movie, but she knew what she really wanted to do. Charlie had a left turn and headed out of the town. So, for the people that were joining us,